Thank you, Jeannie. I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to a little bit more animated speaker. So, thank you very much for coming today. Sachse is a great community. I'm so honored to represent it as mayor. And before I get started, I wanted to say a special thank you to Blake. I've got to know Blake here the last couple of weeks and months, and I've been at regional functions, and Blake's been great to get to know you. I look forward to working with you more and more. And same thing, Matthew. I didn't know we were kindred spirits. We both went to that great institution of Texas A&M. Jacob? Okay. Again, we had a nice conversation at the Collin County Mayor's Association, and so look forward to working with you as well, man. So I want to give a shout out real quick to the gentleman who helps us with our aerial drone photos, Mr. Schaefer. He provides a lot. Not quite all of them, but some of them, and I just want to give him a shout out because he does a great job. And this is one of my favorite pictures because anybody who knows me knows that what's the first thing I look at when I see this picture? Clouds. So it's a great, I almost got all three levels of clouds here. So, but with that, that's a different presentation, so I won't do that. But Mayor Porter had talked about tax rate, and Sachse, we've been very proud of what we've been able to do in the past few years. Not too long ago, in 2017, we had a tax rate that was almost 85 cents, and now we're down to 70 cents, and more of that good stuff to come, I promise. Now, economic development, again, we've made great strides the last 10 years, from 2011 to 2021. As you can see, I don't know if we have any Garland, Steve. We got a board member here, and so they are still number one, so congratulations. But we have a lot of good development going on in Sachse. We're going to talk about that here a little bit more in just a second. I wanted to give Anita Collins a shout out because she was on the list in 2011, but we didn't quite make it in 2021, so you got to work on that. But and I have to say this too, because if you know anything about Sachse, one of the complaints we always get on council is that we have to meet chicken places. And so Golden Chick, and this is one of our top employers, so there is a benefit to that. So I want to throw that in. But we have $32 million in the new construction in 2021 and $6.7 million in commercial remodels and additions. So that's awesome news. And then the good news is that we've been able to capitalize on economic growth quite a bit. Now, our city manager, Gina Nash, told me earlier that the state has won the Governor's Cup. I was like, oh, I didn't know we had a football championship, but it's like, great. I thought A&M had done something else too. But it's, Texas has won it 10 years in a row. And we were honored to be part of that because of Evolve Biologics. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But again, we were very honored to be invited down to Austin, Ms. Nash, our city manager, to talk about that. It was a very, very honor. And Evolve Biologics is a Canadian firm that's coming to Sachse. It's going to bring over 300 jobs to our city. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful achievement for our staff. And quite frankly, the cooperation and the buy-in we have from our residents to be able to do that. And then in the same spirit, sales tax, we've continued to see our sales tax increase quite a bit. Last year, just over $4.5 million. And this year, we are on track to exceed that. We don't know quite sure what it'll end up being, but we have a projection of $5.14 million. We have a 3-year average growth of 15.4%. So very, very good news in that regard. Now, employment, we have a 3% unemployment rate in May of 2022, which is below the national average. The median household income is just above $107,000, and almost 40% of our population has a master's degree or higher. And so we definitely like the trends we're seeing there. Now, from a city project standpoint, every one of our cities today has talked about that, and Sachse, of course, is no different. The station, most of you probably know where the station is. It's out on 190 on George Bush, and it's one of our signature developments that we've had. And the station is right, single-family homes, townhouses, multifamily. And the thing about that is sometimes multifamily can be a dirty word to some people, and I don't necessarily see it that way in the sense that it helps our city be a full life cycle city. And one of the things that the Linus in particular does is that development is right across the street from a retail development which I'll talk about in just a second. And that makes it a walkable community. And that is what we're seeing in the demographics of our society, if you will, is that people want somewhere they can walk. The park you see right here in front of us is a good example. They want to be able to walk to the park, they want to be able to walk to go eat. And that's something that we're able to do with the station. And we have 36 acres of parkland, Heritage Park upgrades at the gun, we'll talk about that in just a second. And the Commons Park, what you see right there, is 2 acres open space, and that is very popular. Although, when it's 105 outside, it's not as popular during the day. And as I mentioned, and definitely want to give another shout out to Mandy's who catered today. They are in Sachse. We were proud to have them there out at the station. And if you haven't been there, I would definitely recommend you go there. We have Lavender's, a floral boutique that just opened. And who doesn't need Cold Stone Creamery today? They're not quite open yet, so don't go out there. But they get close, and so they're going to be out there as well. Trinity Hospital, you've probably seen that facility. It's opened up and operating almost at full capacity, not quite yet. They have full letters dentistry. The fire station, I call it flow station. My daughter corrected me. Fire station. And so they just opened last week, I think. And very good Vietnamese food. So if you like that, definitely give them a try. A very nice family-owned business, and they had just opened up out there. The Brass Tap is there, of course, too. And if you've been out there lately, we have phase 2 of our retail getting going out there. So if you think these are all great, just wait till phase 2 because it'll be even better. Now, as I talked about earlier, Evolve Biologics is a Canadian firm that's coming to Sachse. And while I couldn't really tell you exactly what they do from a plasma standpoint, but I will tell you they use plasma-capped EVA to deliver critical plasma-derived therapeutics. So it is a big deal to have them. And Sachse was honored to be invited to the Dallas Regional Chamber breakfast last month, where Evolve was honored for their achievements. And it was great. You saw a picture there, there's the owner and vice president of Evolve. And it was just a great time to celebrate that success that they're coming to Sachse. And like I said earlier, they're bringing 300 jobs, but they're really bringing more than that. They're bringing the momentum, if you will, to have more stuff located through our city. So, Evolve, as you can see, 200,000 square foot facility, 300 employees. We've already had a groundbreaking out there, and they're going to be our first manufacturing laboratory. So very exciting that they're coming to Sachse. Now, speaking of development, we tend to focus on the 190 corridor, President George Bush, and rightfully so. But the thing that we don't want to forget about, and the council I think has done a really good job of not forgetting about that, is Highway 78. And you heard Mayor Porter talk about that as well for Wiley. And as we all know, Highway 78 is a major corridor thoroughfare for not just Sachse or Wiley. It's not just important for us, it's important for the whole Northeast, Dallas, South Central, Southeastern Collin County area. And I know Mayor Porter and I have been in a couple meetings that Collin County's already started talking about what they're going to do with that feature. Me and Matthew have already talked about we're going to have our say on what we think they should do. But for Sachse in particular, we are looking to do, we've already done the TIRZ, TIRZ district, I should say, tax increment reinvestment zone. And that's going to help us redevelop that corridor. One of the things I do here, and I've heard this for really ever since I've lived in Sachse, is that, what are we going to do about 78? What are we going to do about 78? Now, the other thing I get all the time is, hey, why don't you just do what Wiley did and move the railroad? I don't think we could do that, unfortunately. I give you kudos for that, though. Y'all did a great job of that. But sort of that, we do have some plans for that, and the tax increment reinvestment zone will definitely help us do that. And so we're excited about that. And the same thing with Fifth Street. Fifth Street is a redevelopment project we're doing. We have a couple of tenants we're working with to get going there. And we're going to talk about Sachse Road here in just a second, but that's definitely part of it. You can see the bottom right corner. It's kind of an open canvas right now. And that's the beauty of it, is that we're not very limited in what we can do. And as Wiley mentioned, as Mayor Porter mentioned, we have a bond election as well in 2021, and very exciting. So a couple things that we did, the residents of Sachse approved, is that we have the expansion to Sachse Road from miles to the city limits. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the expansion we just did here in a second. But this is phase 2 and phase 3. Now, I know you see 2023, 2028. 2028 seems like forever. I used to think 2022 seemed like forever. And so it'll be here before you know it. Now, of course, as our residents, I think Rowlett and Wiley can say the same thing. It's never quick enough, but we are definitely working to get that done with our bond. And much like Mayor Porter talked about, we have our internal streets that we need to take care of. So the bond did that. Bailey Cooper Road, Williford Road, West Creek Lane. If you've been down Williford or Bailey, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then several neighborhood streets we're going to reconstruct. That'll be ongoing, starting right now through 2030, most likely. And then I have to admit, probably the most exciting about the whole bond package was our new animal shelter that we're getting. And if you've been to our animal shelter, the staff and the city have done a great job with what we have. But if you've been out there, if you're an animal lover like I am, you just know that we just got to be better about that, do better. And so thankfully the residents of Sachse approved that to where we can do better. And so we're going to get a brand new facility, working on the design for that right now. And we're excited about what that's going to bring to Sachse and our furry friends. Street projects. So as I alluded to just a second ago, Sachse Road is the first phase is completed, and hopefully you've had a chance to drive down there. We have the great traffic circle turnabout now. Some people don't like those, but they've done a really good job. And I'm happy to say, I confirmed this yesterday, that we have not had one accident. Oh, we didn't jinx it. We have not had one accident since done, so it's doing its job. I can't tell you how many accidents we had when it was the old design. But you see a great aerial shot there, and it's really been well received. Someone yesterday asked me they had never seen a dual lane turnaround, and I said, well, they're around, but we got a dual lane turnaround. And we're going to have, and again, we got the walkable sidewalks on either side of it, especially on both the Sachse Road side and the Fifth Street side, going back to 78. And again, as I mentioned, just to the right there, that's going to be our Fifth Street redevelopment. And so it's going to really help develop and be a good synergy for that. And this project was just completed back in June. Now, our other big project in Sachse, and again, you don't even have to live in Sachse, you probably should travel down Merritt Road. So it's been a challenge for us for a long time. And so we are very excitedly getting to the point where we're about to get going on this project where you can actually see it. We've been working on it for a long time behind the scenes. But we are reconstructing MERRITT, and probably the thing that we're most proud of as a city is that the partnerships that we use to help build this road. This is a very expensive road, and I don't think some of it's in there or not. $29 million, yeah, $29 million project to take a 2-lane blacktop road into a 4-lane divided thoroughfare, almost boulevard type of situation. So that's not cheap. Not to mention we have some drainage areas, we have some floodplain to go over. But more importantly, as you can see from the red line, we are going to realign the intersection where it tees in. Right now, of course, MERRITT tees into Sachse Road. We have a jog intersection that you have Woodbridge Parkway. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to line up MERRITT with Woodbridge Parkway, signalize that intersection, and get rid of that problem, all with this project. But like I said, it's a very complicated project, and out of $29 million, we're on the hook for about 5 or 7 of it, and that's it. That's all the residents of Sachse are on the hook for. We cannot do that without our partners and regional cooperation and relationships that we have, because if you don't have that, nobody's going to step up to the plate to help you out. And as I mentioned, it's going to be traffic signal there, and it's just really, really going to improve. This is one of the projects that you wish could be done yesterday, but we're getting there, and it's very exciting to see where we're going to go. Now, park projects. Now, that picture right there is from our red, white, blue blast just this past week. And I don't know if it was a record turnout or not, but it was pretty close. And again, I think the heat kind of dampened things a little bit, but it was a great turnout, and we just love that event. But from a park standpoint, Heritage Park has always been, at least I feel like, it's always been our signature park. And we're expanding that with a partnership with this PMB development. And the concept plan there is on the right. Now, it's funny because that day we did the groundbreaking, it was, 40 degrees with the wind till like 20. How good would that feel right now? It was really good. But that was a very exciting day. If you've been out there, the project is underway and under construction. And we're just very excited about the water features that are coming and how it's going to have connectivity to the station back to Heritage Park. It's really going to be a great And speaking of heritage, this is probably one of the parks I get the most excited about because of the true heritage of the park. J.K. Sachse Park, yes, it is a Sachse family. And they were at our groundbreaking. It was very nice that they were done. We had some other honored guests there. The Stanleys were there, and it was just a great event. And this is on the north side of town, and we get a lot of, comments, I'll say, about how we don't have enough parks on the north side of our town. And so this is definitely a very exciting time. There is true heritage to this park, and trails, restroom facility, pavilion, things like that. Splash pad, talk about splash pads, so that's very exciting. So it's just a great addition to our park system, and it's underway as we speak. And we could not do any of this without our public safety personnel, and we are very excited. So our Assistant Chief of Police, Stephen Baxter, he graduated recently from the 282nd session of the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. And I'll be honest, I didn't know a whole lot about that until they told us about it, but it's a very prestigious event. And we were very proud that he was able to graduate that. And my understanding is that not just anybody goes to that, you have to get an invitation, basically, qualified, if you will. And so it's definitely something that we're very proud of Chief Baxter for accomplishing. As I mentioned, our animal shelter is coming. Very excited about that. We're in the design phase right now, and it won't be too much longer to where we will get have some more definite plans for everybody to look at. And we talked about top 10s and footballs and all that, and so Sachse made the top 10 among the safest cities in Texas. So we're very proud about that. We were 11th last year, and so we're in the top 10. It reminds me of the old AT40 KCK, so you got to make the top 10 for the countdown. So we're in the top 10. So. And then again, our fire department and our police as well, but our fire department really gets out in the community. COVID really put a damper on that, as we know, and so it was hard to do things. Very proud to say we had our first inaugural Citizens Fire Academy graduation 2 weeks ago, and that was just a wonderful event to see our residents sign up and volunteer to go through a program like that, learn more about the fire department. And like I said, we have gotten out more with community engagement with COVID, post-COVID. We partnered with GISD to do the Shattered Dreams program at Sachse High School. And I know there are similar programs around the country that deal with that. It's very sobering event they put on for obvious reasons. But we were proud to partner with GISD to put that on. And then we just became a heart-safe community. And there are very few communities, I think just about 20 in the whole country that qualify for that. So we're very proud to be recognized as a heart-safe community. That's where Sachse is at the moment. And again, I want to say that everything that you've seen on all three presentations, I believe would not really be possible without the cooperation that we have among our neighboring cities. They're not all represented here today, of course. I know Murphy and Rich is going to come, but we couldn't do this without regional cooperation. We couldn't do this without personal relationships. And probably most importantly, we couldn't do it without our resident support. And so we're very thankful for that, and very thankful to the Sachse Chamber for getting us all together. Gene and I were talking before. It's been probably 20 plus years since y'all done this. And it's great to get together and see what everybody else is doing. And you should brag on yourself. Rally should brag on itself, Molly should brag on itself, because we're all great communities. And like I said, it's very honored to be here. And we look forward to being here next year.